is really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
Then this is our only ticket out of here.
Alien Romulus. This is directed by Fede Alvarez. He is known for the 2013 Evil Dead, which I did enjoy. And he's also known for Don't Breathe, which is the first one that we really did like. He didn't do the second one. We could tell. It was just not good.
He also directed the TV show, the TV series, I think it's called Calls on Apple TV Plus, that I told you should freaking watch because it's amazing.
I'm just going to tell you guys, a lot of this stuff that I'm going to say in this is going to be spoiled. So that is your warning. Right down there, spoiler warning. This film follows a girl that is trying to get off of this mining planet. And her brother, but she calls him her brother, is actually an android that she calls Andy, played by David Johnson. That guy, I have to say, is my favorite character in this film. He is the person who had me locked in. Okay?
Yeah, because he was really the only character, if I can be honest with you. Everyone else was just like cardboard cutouts, but he was like a dynamic person who changed throughout the film, but everyone else was just kind of like there. You know, it's like, like red meat for the alien.
Red meat. Red meat. She has to like work her credits off that she's owed for this mining company, and then they screwed her over, and now her and her brother have to stay there for like a longer time, 6 years. But her and her friends, they're like, yo, we got a plan to get off of this planet. There's like a space station that's just wandering around out there, and they have fuel there we can take so we can get to this other destination, this other solar system. They are younger folks. They're not military trained, or they're not scientists or anything like that knows particularly what is up there floating around. You know, they're just saying, we're going to see this lick and we're going to get it. You know? And I am glad to say that I did enjoy this film. This film felt like a return to the horror phase, the horror of Alien. James Cameron was more of an action film. Military came in, you know, all that.
Yeah, please don't come at me, okay? Please don't come at me. But I liked this movie, but my theory is James Cameron destroys every franchise he touches by making a movie that's just too good, but also so deeply removed from the first one. James Cameron took over for Aliens after Alien and turned a horror franchise into an action franchise. Ridley Scott, he decided to do something completely different. He decided to explore a whole new side of the universe, and we introduced these engineers and all this stuff like that. But this is more of a return to form to Alien. This movie focuses much more on the claustrophobia, and I love that a lot. The vibes in this film are immaculate, okay? But that's really what this movie is to me. I think it's kind of more of a vibes film, a little bit like kind of like Dune, right? And Fede Alvarez gets a lot of points for, hopefully it doesn't sound mean, but for like doing nothing, right? He took no risks with the franchise. He didn't move the franchise forward at all. He didn't recontextualize anything. Nothing. There is a little touch of moving the franchise forward towards the end, but it's like so late in the film that you're either in it or you're out of it. So I like this film quite a bit. It was a nice surprise, and not a surprise in the way I thought.
And I think that's all this film needed, because when we went back and we did our review for Prey, I was like, oh my gosh, here comes another freaking Predator film. We've seen this over and over again. Then they release it on Hulu. Ironically, this film was scheduled to release on Hulu until the producers saw what happened with Prey on Hulu, and they were like, yo, that's freaking awesome. The people really love that. And then a lot of the pre-screeners for this film, people started to really love that. We're gonna put this out in the theaters. This film is nowhere near what Prey was, because Prey had a lot of stuff to talk about it.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff they had to say. But with this film, it doesn't need to be that. I think Fede Alvarez's strength is his environmental skills when it comes to, you know, the darkness, and more importantly, the practical effects.
Yeah, I used a lot of practical effects. Absolutely. I feel like the only thing that I could pick out that maybe Fede Alvarez was adding in that other directors weren't, and that maybe he learned from Don't Breathe, was the sound design. I thought the sound design was really good for this film, and they even used some sounds from Alien Isolation in this film, which I was surprised to hear, like that save sound when you save the game. I think Fede Alvarez is good at just copying Ridley Scott's style and his vibe. It feels familiar in a good way. So these kids, they grew up on this mining colony. The sun never shines. It rains constantly. And the company that is running the mines, which I'm assuming it's a Weyland-Yutani company, they are very clearly corrupt. These people are essentially like child slaves, right? They're promised that they can get off if they put in the work, but then our main character, she puts in the work and she can't get off the planet, you know? And that setting is used as a shorthand to help you understand these characters. The only two characters that are not stereotypes are our main character, whose name I can't remember, and her brother, Andy. And I agree with you that the actor who played Andy is phenomenal. And as soon as I was like, this guy's playing like a nervous nerd, he's really good at that. As soon as I got comfortable in that mode for him, he got a new directive, and he turned into a completely different person. He is someone that is actively working against our plucky group of teenagers, right? But he is doing it for the greater good. He does bad things for the greater good. And that is really interesting, and that feels very complex. And I liked that quite a bit. The model of android that was Ash is on this ship as well. And Ash revealed himself to be unreliable, and he revealed himself to be a villain or an antagonist maybe in that film. And so when he shows up here, you're not sure whether or not you can trust him. But to me, I thought that was a bizarre, unforced error. I don't know why the hell they decide to bring back that actor. I believe his name is Ian Holm. He's dead, and they brought him back with like a face replacement thing, and I don't know if they did the voice. Maybe it was an impression, maybe it was AI. I don't know, but it looked awful. Like it looked really bad.
It did look. It didn't that.
Completely distracting. And I'm like, why?
The CGI was really bad and it was distracting. One of the worst things that I think that is in this film is that part of CGI.
That was so distracting. And again, this is my issue with a lot of modern films. Like a lot of the Easter eggs and stuff like that are usually the worst parts of the film. But outside of that one little moment, which I'm like trying to cover my eyes to pretend like isn't there, this movie is full of like a lot of tension. That leads me to another thing that people keep talking about, and it's the jump scares in this film. There are quite a bit, and none of them are distracting to me anyway, except for that last one for me. That last one, I was like, so loud. On. I was expecting them to just ignore Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I just thought they were just going to be like, nope, pretend like that's not here. But actually, we find out that the reason why the Romulus is abandoned and everyone's dead up there is because they were experimenting with the black goo in Prometheus. Well, first of all, the movie establishes that one of our characters is pregnant. And I was like, that's an interesting thing to have in an Alien film. The symbolism of a pregnant person in Alien when the chest bursters, they literally impregnate you and a new life bursts out of your chest, you know? So I thought that was really interesting. And when she gets infected, or she infects herself with the black goo and she gives birth to some sort of alien human hybrid, it comes out looking like an effed up engineer. And I was really surprised by that. And so this is the only time where I feel like the movie is like doing something new with the series.
It does set up probably a possibility for future installments that's in between this film and Aliens, because there's 57 years between what happened in Alien and Aliens, where Ripley was picked up, in space.
But there's no like crazy lingering questions like after Prometheus, where you're just like, what the hell did I just watch? The movie more or less answers every question, so there doesn't need to be a direct follow-up for these characters. But there's no question, at least not that I found, no lingering question like gnawing at you, which I appreciate.
But it would be a pleasure for me to see that actor David Johnson comes back as Andy in some type of way. He could be a different type of android, because that guy is a good actor. I've never seen him in anything.
Fantastic. Me neither. And he was so good that I felt bad for the other kids. I'm like, damn, this dude is just chewing on scenery. He's like going crazy over here.
And this film only cost $80 million. Do we have to continue to scream to everyone about making $300 million films and then failing? You do not have to do that. I enjoyed this film a lot, and Devin did enjoy this film a lot also, but more importantly, what did you think about this film? Get in the comments below and let us know what you thought of Alien Romulus. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. You guys have been in the comments talking to us. You know, you guys have been liking some of the videos, but what you guys haven't done is hit that subscribe button, all right? Right down there right there. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers, right? And you can help us get us there, all right? And if you did like this review, please hit that thumbs up, all right? Or you get that thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion, but just remember one thing, it is mostly wrong. We'll see you guys in another review.